you to get up. You know what? Get up out of your chair. Go to the window. Open your door, stick your head out, and yell.
I ain't gonna be cooking all day. I ain't your mama. I ain't gonna do your laundry. I ain't your mama. I ain't your mama. Boy, I ain't your mama. When you gonna get your act together? I ain't your mama. No, I ain't your mama. No, I ain't your mama. No.
That is some of the new single, Ain't Your Mama by Jennifer Lopez, coming not long after Beyonce tackled feminist issues to much acclaim with Lemonade. But it seems J-Lo's take is leaving many with a sourer taste. Emily, what do you think? Is Jennifer Lopez putting the patriarchy on the chopping block, or is she kind of jumping on the feminist bandwagon here?
I think it's unfair to J-Lo to have to frame it this way, as if she's jumping on a bandwagon. Like, she's a woman in the arts. She's done other songs that have a pro-woman message. This isn't, like, necessarily a brand new thing for her. It is admittedly a bit thinner and a bit more repetitive than her typical output. But I also feel like the question that she's trying to deal with in the song is a deeply personal domestic question, and just because she's not also advocating for wage equality, and just because she's not also having cameos from like the top female athletes in the world, doesn't mean that she can't be part of the conversation. I think that framing things in terms of is this feminist or is this feminist enough is not really helpful.
Rachel, how did J-Lo's song sit with you?
Yeah, to me, what I thought was interesting is I don't think this is a big, strike for feminism on this, but I also think it's interesting to me that this is what a very mainstream, record industry, music industry thinks is what sells now. Mm-hmm. And I think that speaks to the fact that feminism has become so mainstream and part of the mainstream conversation that people are like, what's going to work in this video? We're going to have
feminize
this like,
it up.
Yeah, feminize it up. No, it's true. Yeah. And so I think this is a bit sort of, like off-brand Beyonce in a way, because I do think that in many, like I think she does invite herself to be unfairly or to be negatively compared to Beyonce, because she actually uses terms like crazy in love. There, she comes out with this sort of feministy statement video, right after, Formation and Lemonade. And so, but I think what's interesting to me is just that, to have this kind of a message, to have Gloria Steinem and Hillary Clinton being quoted in a music video, people would have thought that was death 5 years ago. And now to see that as being a selling point of a video, I think says a lot about how younger women have taken up feminism and how much it is a part of like the pop culture conversation.
Emily, quickly, where do you think that framing is coming from? Do you think it's coming from the content of the song, or do you think it's kind of media putting that question out there of, is this feminist or not?
Yeah, I think that, to Rachel's point, it's definitely something that the producers of both the song and the video had intended us to be talking about. In the video, J-Lo moves through the eras and, like, literally has a glass conference door slammed in her face in the 80s because she can't break through that glass ceiling, and she, like, dumps a pot roast on her husband in the 50s, and she looks so cute. But, like, it just, I think that there is that invitation, but I think that for J-Lo, it's much more domestically oriented, right? Like, the idea is when there's Ann Kingston, actually, the writer from Maclean's, wrote a great book about this called The Meaning of Wife, where in heterosexual partnerships, it's economically advantageous for men to get married, but not for women. As soon as you get married in a heterosexual partnership, the man stops doing as many of the household chores as they had previously, and the woman makes up for it. He's more likely to get promoted. She's more likely to have to be stagnant in her role at work. And I think that even though, J-Lo's not doing what Beyonce did, the fact that this is going to be like a fun, silly song that 13-year-old girls are singing, I think that's great.
Stephen, what was your take on the song?
It's possible. I mean, there is the Macklemore white privilege 2 possibilities here. Like, this is, this is like, you know what I mean? Like, this is like feminism for idiots. But like, I would just, because that's kind of what it is. But like, I would just point out, like, the content of the song is, I ain't your mama, so I shouldn't do your. I mean, first of all, I was trying to figure out, when does J-Lo do her own laundry? Like, Clinton administration? Probably not. Probably first Bush administration was the last time she did her own laundry. But also, it's like, if you are somebody's mama, I guess then you should do laundry and cook, right? It's hard,
No, it's true.
It's not the most thorough.
Yes,
it's not
exactly.
the most thorough critique.
As someone who saw
No,
the
it's true.
lean-in
Yeah,
NBA
exactly.
moments and was
Exactly.
like, let's go with that.
Yeah,
I like
yeah, yeah.
that. Like,
No, I'm with you.
Steph Curry's doing this. I want to be part of this. It like just not really thought through. And I think like we have this discussion all the time about feminism and pop culture, and I think it is really important to remember that in all these discussions, pop culture is inherently exploitative. It is inherently about beautiful people. If J-Lo did not look the way that she looks, which is some kind of miracle, she would not have a say. And I think it's important to remember that in all these discussions, in all of them.
Yeah. I mean, the other point, too, is Dr. Luke produced
Yeah.
the song or the video. Yeah. And, so Dr. Luke, the producer that's been accused of Kesha of raping her and bullying her in her career. So, I think it also, the fact of this and the way that it was made, also speaks to, the problems within the industry itself, where you at the same time you can have this woman putting out a pro-woman message, and to Emily's point, it's about it takes place in the domestic room, which is an important thing to be talking about, but you can also have it that exist in an industry that still is terrible to so many. I mean, to many artists, but in particular to female artists, and exploits female artists.
Last
And to Steve's point
thoughts to you, Emily.
to Steve's point about exploitation, it's really troubling because how much of this is real? Like even for Beyonce, how much of it is real? We have this like very corporate sanitized idea of what feminism is. It's a hashtag. It's, saying like, I ain't sorry. And that's not really doing that much to improve the conditions. But at the same time, maybe and hopefully it's a start. As Rachel said, 5 years ago, we wouldn't have been like, what are you doing putting Hillary Clinton in your pop song? Do not do that.
It still sounds a little strange, but I'm glad we're living in a moment where that works. Thank you guys. That's the Q Pop Culture panel.